Oh, you pressed the button. Oh, we're live. Hooray. We are the Mad Scientists. I'm Mad Frankie. This is Violet Igor over here. And together we make the Mad Scientists.
We did it!
Hey,
Yay!
we did it. Wrong way round and everything. Right. Well, today Violet is in charge. So
Yeah, yeah,
if anything goes wrong, it's all her fault.
so hi
That's what it
everyone.
is. Hello, everybody. We have some interesting things to talk about here. I've been doing a bit of playing, so let's put it back in view there. And I've got some other things over here. So we'll talk first about what I've got here. I've got two kitchen inks, possibly, but these are extremely brief. You're supposed to leave it 24 hours. I made it about 2 hours ago. So this may not work. But I have saved some more, quite a lot more. I only use a little bit in this. And put it in the fridge, and you're supposed to shake it every so often. So I will be doing that every time I make a cup of tea, which is quite frequent. So, and then after 24 hours, it should be okay. Now, in these, I've put some gum arabic. I don't know how much you're supposed to put in. I've got no idea. I'm doing this by the seat of my pants because the information I've got doesn't go into all that much detail. This one is blackberry and it has salt and vinegar and the gum arabic again in it. And I've saved some more of that. So we'll see what happens with that. And then I thought, wonder if pink peppercorns would do anything. So I've got pink peppercorns in here that I'm sitting here watching, see if they do anything. Now, even if they don't do anything in this state, I can crush them up and see if I can get a bit more out of them. And then you can also add other things to them, like vinegar, salt, alum, soda, all sorts of other things, baking soda, things like that.
So let me
So,
ask you, the gum arabic is for a binder, right?
yeah, it shows it flows nicely when you want to put it on paper. It's not a
Okay,
preservative. To get a preservative, I need to put some a clove in there, and I forgot to do that, but I will do that before I finish tonight. I'll put a clove in each one.
so you just said about putting vinegar or whatever else you said in there. Why would you put that in there?
Well, the vinegar can change the color, but it's also a preservative. So
Ah,
it's one of the things. It's one of the things in the recipes that people didn't say a lot about. And the other thing you can put in is alum. That's a fixative, so that can fix a dye so it doesn't change color. But in putting it in, it may change it.
yeah.
And soda ash is another one you can put in, and that can change it as well. But don't put the two in together because they can clash and they don't work well.
So Miriam wants to know, is watercolor or gouache have gum arabic?
I don't know. It depends on who's made it and what they say on their list of ingredients, which should be somewhere, possibly on a website. I don't know. There should be a one of those sheets of what's in things, so that it's not a list of ingredients though. So I don't know. I mean, sometimes they hide what they put in things, don't they?
Yeah, and Liz says that she
But
uses it in
usually, what
watercolor. Colleen
you,
says it
I
also,
was going, I was going to say it's usually in watercolor. Yes.
yeah,
Sorry.
and Colleen says, doesn't it also help develop the pH factor? Um,
I'm not sure about that.
yeah, I don't
That's
know.
not something I know about. I'm just I've done some eco dyeing before with various things like Brazil wood, logwood, cochineal, things like that. And I still got my supplies upstairs. I didn't do a great deal with those, so I can have another go with those on the inks as well. And I also got red onion skins, red onions. I went through the tray when I was in Sainsbury's going, red onion skins. Ooh, I'll have them as well. So I've got the load of skins in my handbag behind me as well. So we've got red onion. We can do some of that, but they need a bit more time. I didn't have time to do more than just try these ones out. And I've also got red cabbage. You can get colour from red cabbage. And then there's beetroot. You can get colour from that. and I believe someone somewhere said you can get colour out of mango pits. Well, I've only got 3 mangoes, so when I eat these, which I'm not going to open them up just yet because I want to make sure they're properly edible, I'm not going to waste them. So when I do, I'll save the pit. And talking of saving pits, I saved quite a lot of avocado pits and skins about a year ago. So I've got loads in the freezer, and you can use those and make a really quite nice darkish pink. Not really a red, a sort of red, but anyway, we can try it out.
What happens. Because I just bought 3 avocados the other day, and I've been eating them. I've got 2 left. I'll save the skin and pits, and then
because you don't need very many if you're making a little bit of ink. I mean, this is quite a big jar. The lady I was watching on the on a YouTube video, she was only making it and putting it in a little pot that size, a little pot like a little ink pot, or a little thing that has an eyedropper in it, one of those. Just tiny. So you don't need a lot to do that. I think she used maybe 3-4 avocado pits, and it was fine. It was plenty. So there's that, and then there's another thing. Let me just move this.
Hi, Anne. Okay, Anne. Yeah, black walnut.
Great big cabbage. And the other things, because I'm not going to work with these right now, so I've just put them out of the way down here. And I wanted to show you the book that got me interested in it this time. This is a lovely, lovely book. It's called Make Ink. A Forager's Guide to Natural Ink Making, Jason Logan.
Hold on,
quite a few people seem to like this. Another book. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm very sorry, says she.
It's
not
been
really
a while.
caring.
We're having withdrawal. You go for it.
So, Make Ink. So let's have a look at this. And before I open it, let me get something because I have to find that page. And I'll readjust my camera so we can see what we're looking at a bit more easily.
Yeah.
Keeps wanting to dive off in a corner. Trying to get it tall enough to see the whole book without diving off the edge. Are you there? Is that all right? That's about right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good, right. So there's quite a lot at the beginning about various things. Talking about colours and things and different stuff and how he was finding things here, there and everywhere. And then he gets on to some recipes. Now this is one. It's talking about a colourful base ingredient such as berries, rocks, charcoal, nuts, roots or leaves. The leaves one I'm a bit more puzzled about at the moment, but I do have this, and I found this in the drive. I've no idea what it is, but it's quite, it sheds dust quite easily, so I've no idea if it might be an old brick or it might just be a bit of natural whatever this is. I don't know. So that's something I could try. Then we had a tree fall down 3 years ago, and my husband was sort of moving it down, and on it I found it's still there, sort of slanty like that, and I found these on it. It's some sort of pine. I'm not sure exactly what, but I found these on it. And I noticed that this chap has got no problems about trying different things to see if they might produce dye. So we can have a go with those as well. So that's another one. I also found this thing in the drive, and I thought, oh, look, that's shattered itself. And maybe that will be usable. And I don't know if it will or it won't. It looks a bit to me like a broken brick. It might be, it might not. I'll have to sort of grind it up with something, probably another stone with a bit more oomph to it, and see if I can turn it into any kind of powder, and then see if we can do anything with it. Maybe putting some vinegar on it, see if that does anything, makes it fizz or anything like that. Might be lime. We'll see. We'll see if we can get that to do something.
Well,
So
what I see on there right now looks like hedge apple.
it looks like oak apple to me. It doesn't say anything. None of these pictures say what they are. They look like green oak apples that haven't
Well,
yet gone
here,
brown.
now I don't know about in Britain, but here we have what's called an Osage orange tree, and they get what we call hedge apples. They fall down
All
and
right.
boink you in the head. That's what they.
Well,
It's either
he
those
hasn't
or
said what that is,
avocados,
though.
really green avocados.
I think these are quite small because the focus is only on one of them. Otherwise, if it was from a fair distance, you'd see all of them. This been zoomed in to look at it.
Looks like a picture Russ would take and say, "No, that's no good."
Yeah, and take another 39 to put it all together. Yeah,
exactly.
So, leaves. I'm not sure about leaves. Roots. I know that Alcana tinctoria produces a lovely purple dye, but it's almost impossible to get hold of. It seems to be available in India. You can buy the roots from there, but they put something on the roots so that they're not viable, so they won't sprout in any other country and grow. And to try and get hold of Alcana tinctoria seeds is almost impossible. And unfortunately, its common name is alkanet. And there is another plant called I can't remember the Latin name, but it's also called alkanet. It's called green alkanet, but it's a completely different species, and it does not produce the same purple dye. So you've got to be wary when you're trying to find Alcana tinctoria. Don't accept anything but that, and you probably won't, because nobody's been able to get hold of any for about the last 5 years.
I look forward to seeing how you get anything out of that cabbage, that red cabbage.
Well, that's easy because lots of people have done it before, so that should be quite easy.
Boiled cabbage. I don't remember the water turning red. Of course,
I didn't say it turned red, did it? I think it turns blue at some stage.
Oh, okay.
But we'll investigate that later. So there are other recipes in here as well as, I mean, there's black walnut, but that's fairly common to get hold of, so I wasn't going to bother with that, especially as I don't have any walnuts in my back garden that I know of. So I have got a load of oak galls. These are not the round ones that look a bit like that, but brown. And they're about, if they are oak galls, they're about that big. Right? Maybe that big, and no bigger than that. Yeah, and they look like that, but brown. Usually with a hole in them somewhere where the little wasp is living, or has lived when it's brown. So mine are a little bit smaller, about that size, and they're knobbly. They're not sort of this round shape. Oh, where have I put them somewhere? I don't know where I put them. I collected a load. Oh, here they are.
They're over there.
They're over here. These are mine. These are called knopper galls. I think I mentioned these in the last stream. I'm not sure. Okay. I had them then. They're these sort of crunchy, sort of twisted, like a balloon that has shrunk down and then frozen in position. That's what they are. They're caused by the knopper gall. The knopper gall wasp. So it's a different species of wasp. I could get the round ones. I have seen some round ones last year, but I couldn't find any this year. And you can get those off the same tree, but because it's caused by a different variety of wasp. So the other thing you can get is the acorns and the acorn cups. You don't get quite such a strong colour from those, so they say. But, you know, we'll give it a go, see what happens. So I've got those. What else have I got there? 1/4 of a walnut is what I've got there. Hee. Huge, isn't it? Not going to get much out of that.
Hi, Teresa. Teresa asked, does it talk about acorns? Can you use acorns? She just asked.
Yes, you can. You can, yeah. But it's not quite so strong a colour as you get with the gall because of the action. The It's something the gall wasp secretes that causes the oak to create this protective thing around the gall wasp to protect itself from the insect. And in doing that, it concentrates the tannins in there as well. And tannin is what gives you the darker colour. Thickeners and binders. So you can get different thickeners and binders, like shellac flakes or gum arabic, which is what I've got over here. Gum arabic. That's what I put in those three there.
Yeah.
How much? I mean, some people talk about a few drops. I put quite a dollop. You know me, I don't measure. So we'll see whether it works or not. But don't forget, I've got more in the fridge, so I shall have more to add to it anyway, after it's been there 24 hours. So, water, yes. I was talking about water there. Okay. Water isn't neutral. Its subtleties cannot be ignored by the ink maker. For example, falling rainwater is naturally soft, containing only sodium ions. As it makes its way through the ground, it picks up minerals like chalk, lime, salt, and magnesium. Soap bubbles up way better in soft water. Lye, a favourite medieval ingredient often used in sap green ink, which is on page 124. We'll have a look at that later. Is made when rainwater is run through the white ashes of hardwoods such as maple or oak. Water pulled from limestone rock will have a higher pH level, which will change the colour of the ink. And now I can't remember whether a higher pH makes it more acidic or more alkaline. One or the other.
Colleen mentioned that way back here. Let me see. Hold on. I got little gnats coming in my window. Amounts are important. The pH might be as well, since too acidic of a mixture can deteriorate the paper. Aha.
Yeah, you don't want it too acidic. Yeah.
You don't want the pH too high. So.
So then, a high pH is acid, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
I would. Yeah. Let's see. And yes, Beth, she has studied this in depth. She's the mad scientist.
Well, I haven't studied it in as much depth as I'd like to. I have done some dyeing before with eco-dyeing with plants, so I know that a really dark red coreopsis or something will give you a blue colour on the paper, which is weird. It's probably half the reason why a red dye or red ink is so difficult to get hold of.
And Carlos says the red cabbage, it turns purple. You can use it as a litmus in acid-based testing. One of my students' favorite labs.
I think one of the colors that turns purple or blue, you can change the color by adding something else, like either soda or vinegar, one or the other. I can't remember which, but there are recipes that explain all that throughout here. So that's lovely, isn't it? Just testing colors on a bit of paper.
Isn't that cool? Looks like a happy.
That's the one I want. And that one I should actually be able to make, because that is made from copper. I think it's copper and vinegar. So you put the copper in the vinegar and you just wait, because the vinegar attacks the copper and turns it into verdigris. My favorite thing. Yeah.
Teresa says she has pine trees, cedar trees, and black walnut trees around her. So I would think pine needles, you could boil those, and yeah, very lucky.
Yeah. And well, let's have a look at this.
Around black
walnut, that's black walnut.
Else.
That's what he got, black walnut. Now everybody can make carbon black, because all it is you get a candle and a ceramic dish, white ceramic dish, and you just light your candle and hold the dish over or near to the flame so that it creates a black stain on your ceramic dish. Then you can scrape that off, and that's carbon black. So there's that. Sap green. Doesn't say where he got it from. November 2017. Hawaiian turmeric. Alcoholing. Oh, that was alcohol. I haven't put alcohol in there, but I've got loads of turmeric, so I can always have another go with another pot. And I bought a really big tub of turmeric, so that's going to last me about 4 years.
Yeah, I have.
And then use this. So I can do that. And pokeberry ink, which is quite a nice color, but we don't have pokeberry in this country.
And you,
Great
here,
Island,
here's
is there?
something else I read. If you have spices in your cupboard that are outdated, that you think are outdated, don't throw them away. Put them in some. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Be
Yeah.
a mad
And
scientist and make yourself some.
that one, paprika, another one. I wondered about juniper berries. I would like to have an experiment with juniper berries because I've got juniper. So that will be fun. I think you can grow pokeberry in this country, but it's highly poisonous. You've got to be really careful with it. I did see it at the Saxon Maze when we went there on a magical mystery tour trip. It was growing in there, and I knew what it was when I saw it. I went, "Oh, look, pokeberry!" And it does create a really lovely reddish colour.
Are they?
And then we've got
Teresa,
wild grape.
hold on. Go back to the pokeberry. Teresa says she has pokeberry around her house. She lives in the South, so she's got everything.
Aha. Just be very careful because you, according to this book, you've got to be really careful how you dispose of the used plant, and wash all your equipment very carefully. Don't let your animals anywhere near it. Do not just throw it in the garden or anything like that. You've got to sort of really look after how you're getting rid of it because it is quite highly poisonous.
Highly poisonous.
And you must do this outside or with a really serious extractor fan going right over it. You know, you can't mess about with that one.
Well ventilated area.
Yeah, very well ventilated area. So the other ones we've got here is wild grape purple. This is a particular grape variety. And it's only in sort of, I think this chap found it in, what is it, Dundas Overpass 2017. He's in, where is he? He's in British Columbia or somewhere. I don't know where he is. It's in here, I just forget. Copper oxide blue, that's the one I was talking about. I can make that. Acorn cap silver, well, I can make that. That's what you get with acorn cap, right? And this is what you get with oak gall. So you've got two oak-derived things. You can see they are quite different. So that's interesting, isn't it? And then we've got safflower, which creates a pink. Then there's gypsum white. Yeah, that's you go to the White Cliffs of Dover and you just grind a bit away if you don't fall off. Perhaps you shouldn't do that. Chalk. It's just
around here, you're not supposed to take any plants, or you're not supposed to take anything out of the national parks or even the state parks for that matter.
No, but you can grow safflower in your back garden.
Yeah.
Grow hawkberry. You can get turmeric from your kitchen cupboard. I don't know what the sap green was. We'll have to find out about that. But yeah, you can do things with these things. You don't have to stick to these. You can try almost anything. He's talking about using this leaves and stuff in the garden just to try and see what it does. Would be nice to know what you're using. We used to have some St. John's wort that I put into some oil, stoppered it up and put the jar or whatever it was on the windowsill for about 4 months, and it went a really beautiful luminous sort of reddish sort of yellowy red. It was started yellow and it went redder and redder and redder, and it was lovely. That was to make a wound oil, so that was in oil. That was a different thing. When you're going to make an ink, I don't know what it would do, or if it would or it wouldn't. So it's something to experiment with if you have that sort of thing.
So Teresa wants to know, what about cardamom? Cardamom? Did I say that right? Cardamom?
Cardamom, yeah. Yeah, I like cardamom. I haven't tried it, but I've got some in my cupboard. I certainly could. The thing you've got to remember is that sometimes you get a colour just like that from the actual juice of whatever it is. Like I used blackberries a couple of years ago when I was doing eco dyeing, and I was just putting it onto paper, putting a stencil on, leaving it for a while and peeling the stencil off when it was still a little bit damp but not so wet, and then you got a print of the stencil in the colour of the blackberry juice. And then you could just let that dry, and then there you were. You had some paper. I did that with blackberries and coffee together. That was great fun. That was. So you've got those sort of options. And you can always make different colors with different plants. There's one called Dyer's Greenweed and one called Dyer's Rocket Weld. Both of those produce yellows somewhat different from each other. And of course, we know about Woad, which is what I put in the description.
Yeah.
Because that's what the ancient Britons used to daunt themselves with to try and frighten the Romans.
I saw the word weld in your description and I got excited because I thought we were putting on face masks, protective.
No, not that kind of weld. It's Dyer's Weld.
Yeah. I looked at it. Yeah.
It's made some ink from vines here. I can't remember what vines they were, but it's also talking about a horsetail.
And Teresa's question again, do you have to add alcohol or the vinegar to keep it from molding?
No, well, they're talking about putting either clove oil or a whole clove into a jar to stop it from molding. That's what I said. I don't know about this. I've not actually tried any of this yet, so I'm exploring with you. So we're going to see what happens. I'm going to need to get some more gum arabic. It's talking about 3 tablespoons here. I reckon I put about that in that one.
For how much? What's the ratio?
Yeah, 1 3/4 cups of water.
Yeah, you won't even use that much.
No, probably not. So I reckon I've got at least 1.5 maybe in that one.
Yeah, Teresa, I can tell. I know you are.
Or in that one. Put a good dollop in that one because there was more actually in the jar.
Yeah.
Black inks seem to be quite numerous. There are many different types of black ink, some of which, if you remember, the acorn ink was a silvery black, whereas the oak gall ink was a dark black. So that they explain how you can get different types. And here's one where we're cutting off the vine, putting it in an old Altoid tin, and then sticking that in the coals in the fire. Also, you can use it on a barbecue grill, according to this. Wood stove, small campfire, or barbecue grill. Yes. Have to make sure nobody tries to eat it. And when he says vines, what does he mean? What sort of vines? He doesn't seem to be saying. Oh, he said, it says here vines or willow twigs. Well, I've got some willow twigs because cutting them off the willow. So I could do that, and that will give you a sort of charcoal. Yeah, charcoal. That's what he said, yes. So there we are. Blacker. Oak gall ink. There we are. That's quite a dark ink. Yes. Brown. Brown. So what's he talking about there? Squid or cuttlefish ink is a bit tricky. That doesn't sound brown. Yeah, they do. They're meaning for it to be brown. Sepia. That was the original origin of sepia. Yeah.
Interesting.
Now they're talking about a dark brown ink, black walnut. Yes, yes.
You are almost as mad as Frankie, Teresa.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
She's getting excited about this because she has the products around to create this.
Yeah.
And she says, do you think I am almost as mad as Frankie? Absolutely.
This one is a recipe for the walnut hulls, black walnut hulls. 2 cups of walnut hulls, a large old pot, a strainer, a coffee filter, glass funnel, glass container with tight-fitting lid, small bottles, small glass bottles with tight-fitting lid. Well, these are the same thing. I've got bigger ones of these. You see, they're just culinary type things. Wintergreen oil or whole cloves, those are the preservatives. 2 tablespoons of borax, optional. 3/4 cup of very hot water, optional. What if you're going to put in it if you're not going to put water in it? Come on. Spoon or stir stick. 1/4 cup of shellac flakes. And it gives the recipe for doing it. We'll have to have a look at that sometime. I'm going to see if I can get hold of some black walnuts. But I'm not going to be able to forage them because I've looked for years and I haven't been able to find any. So I'm going to have to try and find a source for that. Other types of brown yielding ingredients. Coffee, plantain roots, fir, willow or oak bark, tea, squid ink, dandelion roots, roasted chicory roots, phlox, butternut, and alder cones. Well, there you go.
See, around here, chicory, there's wild chicory all along the
Uh-huh.
roadside. So there's that. There's
Yeah.
everybody has dandelions. We
Yeah,
don't.
even I've got dandelions.
Yeah, I love them. Um,
Red is the pokeberry one.
my brain is just going
Yeah.
crazy of all the things like that you could. Carla says she tried mulberries for fabric dye and got a pale, pale sky blue.
Oh. What did you put in it? Did you put just that on its own, or did you add anything else to it, like anything alkaline or acid to it? Because that might affect the colour. Always something to think about.
Yeah.
Now, this is the pokeberry ink.
So go
All
back.
about that.
Go back and say again. The gum arabic would be like a binder.
Yeah.
So the vinegar or baking soda or what else did you say? You said something else. Um,
Soda ash.
soda ash. That would be to raise the pH content.
Ammonia. Ammonia is another one. I can't remember which is which, but they would be to change the pH.
To change the pH. Okay.
And of course, it might make a difference if you've got a rain tub that drains water off your roof. Then you could use that. That would be softer. That'd be a softer water. Like up in Cumbria, it's very soft. Down here, it's quite hard in the taps.
So
that would give you
here is really hard, but we have a water softener in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Urine, Evie says urine, and that would be ammonia.
Yep. Well, it's better to use household ammonia if you can, because that's got less bad things in it.
Yeah, I was just saying. Less bacteria and whatnot. Carla says going back to she used mulberries on the fabric dye and got the pale, pale blue. She thinks she used vinegar.
Uh-huh. Well, maybe if you can get some more, try it again, only try it with something that's the opposite pH to vinegar, like soda ash, bicarbonate of soda maybe. I don't know. I mean, you'd have to try these things out, and I will too. This is blue. Now, this is the one where you put a bit of copper wire, copper wool, and you put it in salt and vinegar and shake it up a bit now and then, and that should give you your blue after a while, because that's how copper's idea of rust. Look at that. Lovely. So this says half a cup of copper scraps. I'm not going to be able to do that. I've got some bits of copper tubing meant for work for plumbers, and I can use those instead, because if I had to wait for half a cup of copper scrap, 600 grams, Jiminy Cricket, I'd be here for what, 20 years waiting to accumulate that much? Not going to happen. So I'll use copper piping. There was something somewhere in one of these where someone used copper and they got some pipes. Oh, I think it was the other one. You've seen this one before, haven't you? The organic artist.
Yes.
The other one I've got is the organic painter, different author. But I think this is the one where they used some blue from copper. Just let me flick through and see if I can find it. I've seen it in one of these three, or it might have been an online thing. I think it was probably an online thing looking at all these.
Carla
so.
says,
If you've got laundry blue, did you know that that's where they got Prussian blue from?
oh, really?
Blue? Yeah.
Laundry bluing.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Carla says, they say human urine can make a beautiful copper patina, but I can't make myself try it. Maybe.
Yeah, so let's find that one. It might be in this one, or it might be the one for kids. I've got the kids one as well. It's been near the beginning somewhere, I think.
Maybe when my neighbor's baby is born, I'll borrow a diaper.
Well, actually, one of these online places I was looking at mentioned using a diaper. I think the thing was use a diaper or use one of those coffee filters. You know, those. They're in the kitchen at the moment, so I haven't got them here. But yeah, use it as a filter so that I could filter the mashed bits in here. I've found a few more of these. I bought the blackberries. I bought were of two varieties. One is the sweet kind that you can eat according to the label. The other kind was the cooking kind, which I assumed was sharper, and on my taste test, this turned out to be correct. So I used the cooking ones for this, but some of the supposedly sweet edible ones weren't all that sweet, so I probably got enough for another dose of this. But I've also got the rest. It made quite a lot. I've also got the rest of this in a jar, bigger jar, in the fridge. So I'm going to be shaking that and watching that and seeing what happens to that.
Oh, Lord, I hope it's labeled. Poor Ian.
No, he's got the other fridge. It's all right. He knows not to touch things in mine. Cornflowers can make a blue. Black beans, Woad, we know about Woad. Mulberries, yeah. Blueberries. I've got loads of blueberries, but if I can possibly spare any and not eat them, that would be difficult. Wild grape juice with baking soda added to it are less permanent and less intense, but easier to deal with. So, possibilities there. And look at that lovely blue on that filter. Woohoo! That's the type we used to use in our old coffee maker, Kona coffee maker. Look at that. That's the wild grapes he's talking about. You can see they're not the kind you would eat. They're much smaller and probably a whole lot sourer as well. They are small, almost purple-black fox grapes that can be crushed to make the most intense purple ink. I was told that the colour from grapes is fugitive, that it fades and changes with time and light, but not these grapes. I have ink samples from years ago that still vibrate with colour. The ink is great, but bear with me here because its colour has a fascinating history. There's quite a lot about the history. It goes on to Tyrrhenian purple, which was made from those poor little Murex brandaris snails for the Romans. Yes, quite a lot about it. That's the wild grape ink. Isn't that beautiful? Wouldn't it be lovely if we could get hold of some of that? I'd like to try growing some of these things, you know. That's why I was looking for Alcana tinctoris seeds and failing once again.
You would love a trip to go see Kate at the last homely house.
What? The last homely house? Isn't that Rivendell?
Is that Rivendell? Well, I'm thinking Kate on YouTube.
I don't know Kate.
Oh, you don't know who the last homely house is on YouTube?
No.
Oh, I'll have to introduce you. I'll send you a link.
Now, this says, a couple of months ago, I was reading up on turmeric and realized that the color is way more soluble in alcohol than it is in water. So, yeah, that's something to remember. Because this one, it does look rather cloudy and it doesn't look all that diluted, all that watery. It looks as though there's something in there, which of course there is, because when I was trying to separate this out, the coffee filter burst and some of the bits got back in, so I'll probably have to do something about that. So, but it's such a lovely yellow, isn't it? Isn't that gorgeous?
Beautiful.
Definitely going to have another go.
That looks like a mango yellow, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? That's using turmeric powder, isopropyl alcohol, coffee filter funnel, and that's it, really. So that would be great, wouldn't it? A teaspoon of alum added to your boiling pot will intensify most plant-based yellow colours. Oh, I've not been very well today with this. I'm sorry. Well, we'd better stop with this and have a look at some of these reveals, and then we'll try painting with the ones we've got. See if we can do anything. So this one is a fairly bland, I think. I don't think there's a lot showing on this. It's one of my attempts. I'm going to have to blow it. It's getting awful. Hang on.
Mute. Oh, and I'll show you real quick what I'm doing, everyone. You see what I'm making? It's as close as I can get to looking like lupins. So it'll just continue. This piece right there is the pattern, and it's just going to continue after on repeat of that section. Continue on. So that's my thought of a lupin.
Lovely.
I
Lovely blue.
It's purple actually, and I thought I had variegated purple, but I can't find it, so I'm working with the purple. But it is purple. It does look blue on the screen, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Greens do that to you, don't they?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, well, this is one I think is quite bland. It's one I was making, thinking about the colour combo. So it's silver, as Payne's grey, and a little bit of red on here. So let's have a look and see what we get. That's not too bad.
I love that one.
I thought it was going to be much paler than that. It's just a bit on the pale side.
Look, you can see the colograph marks.
You can, can't you?
Yes.
Honesty there. You can see the 3 spots. You can see the big.
Hi, Paula.
You can see the smaller bubble. You can see it all. It's done quite well actually.
Yeah, tilt it around. That's beautiful.
Much better than I expected. That makes it look darker than it is, but it's quite good. You can see the red and the Payne's grey better that way.
Right, Evie and Trish and Evie. Wow, I would hang that. Yes, I would too. I would frame that, put it on the wall.
Well, let's see what the next one shows. Yes,
you didn't just make a stencil there. You made the colograph, so the whole thing is all you. It's gorgeous.
This one is quite nice.
All right, clean plate. Let's hope for a clean plate. No sticking.
This is nice. This is the one we put black on first, and then we put down that stencil.
That's interesting.
That was.
That's interesting.
Oh no, it wasn't that one. Wasn't that one? It was this one. I think it was this one.
No, I don't think. I think it was the gasket.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, it's the gasket. I could see that as a book cover. No, it's not that one. It's the gasket. Nope. It's not the honesty.
That one. They're all honesty. They're all honesty. That one.
Looks more like a gasket. Yeah, you were off camera a bit, or you were off the page a bit. Turn it around.
Better? Turn it around. Okay.
I meant your gasket was off the page a bit. There you go. There you go. That's how it goes. The black goes up. However it fits, the black is the part that goes up. So turn it 180. Nope, the black goes up.
No, the black goes down because the black was on the thingamy. So it must be in contact like that.
Oh, this is true. This is true. Oh, that way. Yeah, that way. No? Well, that makes no sense.
Oh, it goes there somewhere. You can see it does. Now, where's the wibbly bit?
Where's the 3? Where's the 3 part?
Where's the 3 part? There's the 3 part. There.
That goes there. It doesn't make sense. Move it up, move it up, move it up. Does the black go up or down? How did you do that?
I don't know, but that bit fits.
Well, I don't know. It's a puzzle.
I
There
can't
we
figure it.
go.
Oh,
There
bingo! There you go. Oh dear.
The black goes
So
up.
obviously, yeah, the black goes up because it went on the plate that way, and when I pulled it off, it left the black behind on the plate, which is where they got that from. Yes. Ah, that's pretty good. But I like the black and was it alizarin crimson? I can't remember now.
Oh shoot, let me look. Did I write it down? I think I was so busy watching you that I haven't.
Well, we'll have to go back and look, won't we?
Yeah, no, we got in a long conversation about stencils versus masks, and I didn't write down colors or anything. I was so busy watching you.
Uh-huh.
That's an interesting one. I like that one. I could see it as a book cover and then embellished with some maybe some texture.
This one goes this way around. This is one with
Hi, Anne.
with these stencils on. This is one with these on. Yeah, okay?
Yep.
And
Okay.
before I cut that off,
All
before I cut that down to that sort of shape, that's me thinking what would work, you see. So it was these before I did that. Probably from some of this one and this one. Come on. Come on. That's better. These two as well.
There you go.
See, I'm not sure which way up. We'll have a look in a minute.
And it'll be the opposite.
Yeah, probably.
Clean plate. Clean plate. No sticking.
Ah!
Crack that bottom.
I can stick that down, no problem. I think it's the one where the yellow was pointed downwards on the plate, which is why I'm getting the yellow coming up there. Ooh, that tore a bit, but it's okay. It hasn't ruined it.
Oh, that looks Halloweeny.
It does a bit, doesn't it? But these are the spirits, the elementals.
Yep.
But I'm in the process of turning them into more like this. These ones, more like this.
Right.
So that, and this one, because this one's not even on that sheet.
It looks creepy Halloweeny colors. I like that.
It's not bad, is it?
Not bad.
I was using the lavender that I mixed, I think.
Yes.
Lavender haze. Yeah, interesting.
That came through very nice.
One to go. Only one to go. Let me get rid of these.
That lavender would look really good if it were less matte.
Yeah, well, I can always add some iridescent medium to it. That would make it less matte.
I'd like to see how that comes out.
What have we got here? I think here we've got either this or we've got this. I think one of these. Not sure. Let's have a look. I only had a brief glimpse at the underneath. So let's find out. Oh, it's this one.
Oh.
This one. Do you want me to leave that down and pick that up, do you think?
Yeah, would you want to do
Right.
that? It's a
Yeah,
shame to
I think.
because if you paint it in, it's going to be obvious.
Uh-huh. Well, that's gloss. Matt, I just want to stick that bit down as well. Managed to salvage that piece. A little bit more on that one.
It looks right, Paula. It looks like it's going to be beautiful. Just I hate to see any of it get lost there.
Yeah, because it's torn the paper there, isn't it? Right, so we'll put that back down and try the other side. But it's possible we're going to get the similar thing happening. Yep, just there.
Yeah. So you must have had a lot of paint down there, or that's that heavy body.
Or it's the stuff at the edges.
Yeah, that's true. When I cleaned my plate, when I conditioned my plate this last time, I made sure that I hit those edges with the baby oil, with the oil, because I tend to forget them. So I actually massaged it down the side.
I'm getting some more on this edge. But it's going to be a lovely colour, isn't it? Look at that.
Look at that.
It's going to be gorgeous. What I'm going to do, I'm going to continue pulling this.
Oh, down at the bottom, you lost a strip.
Yep. So I'm going to put this on there. And I'm going to put some up there as well when I'm starting
Do you
to
remember
lose.
what colors you used there?
Well, I used that iridescent green, the new Vallejo one is that one. I remember that. But the rest of it, I'm not so sure about.
Yeah,
The
I'm not
reds here.
sure.
I think there's glycerin crimson, and I think then there's Nicolazo gold, possibly.
Yeah, it looks cloudy with something in there.
There's some purple there, so there's some lavender haze left over from the previous pull, isn't there?
Okay, so we'll try to save it.
And we'll have a look at the other side and see what may come up. So if it comes up properly, that's what we'll get.
That's beautiful.
And one thing you need to be aware of, I've noticed, if I pull up one side and then put it back down with some quite a bit of this on, especially if you put it over the whole of the plate, if you want to make sure, and then you peel up the other side, make sure you're holding this side down, because otherwise you peel up this side to the join where you've put the matte medium, you put more matte medium on, and then you try and put the sheet back down again, it slides about.
Yep.
So either you want to put this on one side, leave it for a little while, and then pull the other side up and deal with that, or it might just slide about and you'll miss it. You won't be able to register it properly. I've been able to register a couple of them, just about, but it gets dodgy. So watch it if you're doing that. Try to hold one side down and try to leave it for a bit and come back. Go and make yourself a cup of tea. Come back, have a go with the other side, or even drink the tea and then come back and try the other side. I don't reckon that's about enough time. 1 cup of tea. Okay. Just something to remember. Now we've got a whole load of plates now.
Well, you have two brand new plates to break in, don't you?
Yeah, but I haven't got the plastic yet.
Oh,
the
you still
backer.
haven't got the perspex.
I'm still waiting on that. It takes a few weeks to get here, that stuff.
Well,
there we go. Would you like to show something while I nip to the little girl's room?
I'm sure you go. Well, what if I said no?
I'd beat you up.
Okay. Well, I'm really not prepared. You go, and I'll come over here solo, and they can watch me
Okay.
tatting and see
Okay.
how I
I
do.
won't be long.
There you go. This is all this takes. It's really not difficult, but you really have to focus. With crocheting, I don't care if I miss stitches or whatever, because when I crochet, I pretty much am doing my own ideas now. But this is actually a pattern I'm following, and this is the third time I've done it, so I'm not even looking at the pattern now. Pretty much got an idea how to do it. And I noticed everyone that does this, that I've seen do it, they use just their index finger to do everything like this. And I tend to use my thumb. So I don't know if that makes a difference or not. A picot. One. Whoops. So here you go. Take a break. One, two, two, three. And each of these is called a double stitch because there's two. This is a picot where I barely pull the thread, and then I close it. So that's one. Another and another makes it a double stitch. Another and another makes it a double stitch.
Gosh, you're fast.
I am.
Yeah, it's like, slow down.
Oh, one more picot. Picot. Before I forget, we'll just do this one. Yeah, and my camera isn't the best for doing this. And then once you get there, so now I've got two circles here, and this is the third circle. It's part of a cluster. And you've got to have your finger here. You've got the end of the thread through the needle. You've got to pull this through, but not all the way, and you want to come back and put it through the loop. So now you've joined it. And there's the third one. And in this case, we're just going to tie it off. And that's it. That's all there is to a loop, to a cluster, to a three cluster. Let me lay this out. So we've got a three cluster. And then right there in the middle, we've got a chain. And then we've got another three cluster, if you could see that. And if you look, the chain is basically done the same way as one of these rings, except you don't pull it closed into a ring. Very simple. So now what I'll do is I'll make another one of these chains and repeat the pattern. Easy. See, everybody's gonna get a needle and thread, and we're gonna get in a room and do a play date together. So she can I can help her through it if she wants. Or there's plenty of videos. There's lots of videos out there, but it's not hard. It's just the needle, I use my thumb to pull the thread off. And when I go like that, and I'm starting to get I think I'm worn out right there. I might get a blister. You never know.
Oh, dear.
Oh, it'll be minor compared to my leg, I think.
Yes. Have you told everybody what you did?
No, I didn't. I haven't. No one didn't tell anyone but you.
Can I tell people?
I didn't even tell Russ.
Oh, dear.
I'm not sure if I'm going to, because he might literally go through the roof about leaving me alone again.
Yeah, he might well.
So, yeah, I don't care. It's just I haven't. I don't care if you want to tell.
Is he there now?
No, he's not here yet. He won't be home until about 5 or 6 tonight.
Oh, so it's safe to tell everybody that she was climbing on a stool next to an exercise bike, trying to get the curtains down, overbalanced, put her foot on a cushion that was on the exercise bike. The cushion was slippy. It slipped off. She slipped off too. Look at that. Nearly broke a leg. Getting it trapped, but I just managed to get it out in time. Oh, honestly, I was cringing madly. She was telling me.
I was determined to get that window clean. There's another window over here, the same length. I was determined to get that window clean, and that's his exercise bike, and I can't move that thing. So I got on that ladder, and I was stretching way over across to try to get over here and clean. And I started to fall, so I put my foot out onto that green thing right there. Apparently, he has 2 foam cushions and a pillow on there to protect his butt, and I didn't realize it. And when I put my foot on it, it slid off the seat, and so did I. And my leg went down behind that, between the wall and that bike, and the rest of me went out here. And I managed to twist my leg and get it out before, because I think I would have broke my leg otherwise. And I banged my head when I hit the floor. So I ended up with and this was after I took a break from cleaning and watched Patricia and Mariah. That was my break, my rest, and I sat here and tatted. And then I decided that, well, I've got to go finish it before it gets dark, because I wanted to be able to see the window well. And this is downstairs in the lower level. Yeah, he doesn't know yet. And I know the bruises are coming. Yep.
Well, he's going to notice sooner or later.
No. No, he won't. Nope, he won't see my leg. Nope. We can avoid that for a while, but I'm okay. The headache is the worst of the headache is gone. There's just a little bit of an achiness. I think it's a whole body ache, and something with my neck or whatever. Yeah, bubble wrap me. Absolutely, Lynn. Put bubble wrap around me. I'm not one to tumble and fall, and I'm not clumsy or whatever. And I don't know. I think I'm going through a period of, let's bring Fran back, a period of, I think my body's changing again. I'm hitting the other side of getting close to 66.
Uh-huh.
And I don't have any fear of those things happening. I'm overconfident. Oh, I can reach that side of the window. No big deal. I'll step over here. And, I'm not 25 anymore. I slip and slide now.
I just want to put that down with the others. Now we've got
right, Vicki, and I wasn't even using the exercise equipment. That's his stationary bike. I have a Nordic track over to the other side of the room. That's his bike for his knee therapy, because he's had both his knees replaced. So he goes down there and rides on that. Yeah, I wasn't even using the exercise equipment, but it is dangerous. I'm okay.
Right.
I'm bruised up in that, but I'm okay. I can laugh about it. The worst part, Fran didn't say, but the worst part was I had water bottles, small water bottles, and I had bleach water in them so that I could pour them into the track.
I forgot about that bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So I could pour them into the track, which drains outside, because the windows are, they all have screens on them. So you have a drain in there when it rains. And so I was pouring the bleach water in there when I slipped, and the bleach water bottle went flying. And at the time, I didn't care where it went. I really didn't care where it went, as long as it wasn't in my eyes, which it didn't. But I had an old T-shirt on, and after I came upstairs and recovered and everything, I looked down at my T-shirt, and yeah, it's got some nice artwork on it now.
I said she'll have to take up ink making.
Yeah.
Give herself some colours to put on there as well. Make it more deliberate.
I immediately took it off and rinsed my body off to make sure that I didn't have any bleach touching my skin, because I've been burned by bleach before. And so it's still draining up in the sink. I forgot about it, but I'll get a picture of it, and you could see where all the bleach.
Oh, yeah, I want to see a picture of it. Definitely.
I mean, It doesn't look anything as good as what you pull off the gel plate.
Well, it's
Yeah, but
it
it's
was
a cool design. It was a great shirt, a great
out
t-shirt
the
or
way,
something. Yeah.
like that. And I'm going to be using these. I think I'm going to be using these separately. So we'll make something first, and then we'll be able to use it separately. Let me get these out of the way.
This is the caustic stencil.
That is the caustic stencil. Yeah.
Okay. I think Mariah said yesterday that, yeah, because P was using it, that the sponge skins is in the shop.
Yeah. Oh, it was yesterday. Yes.
Yes, that's what you call the spots and blobs, but Mariah calls it the sponge skins. So that's now in the shop. I don't think she said caustic was yet.
I don't think so. No. There's other people to have
Yeah,
their
I don't
thing.
bounce like I used to, Colleen.
So I want to do this in a lightish color, I think. Something like Titan Green Pale. Oh, please stay up there. Thank you. A bit of Titan Green Pale and something else to go with it. Fluorescent blue. Yeah, why not? A bit of fluorescent blue and a bit of Titan Green Pale. Okay. Let's do that.
I just read back on chat. Ann Lars says, moral of the story, cleaning is not healthy for you.
Exactly. I can agree with that.
Oh, if I could only use that one. I'm okay, everybody. I really am. I'm okay. The like I said, the t-shirt is what looks the worst right now. My leg is bruising up, but nothing's broken. Just sore.
Oh no. Look at that.
What did you do?
Look at that clean one come off. So I've still got something on there.
Ooh.
The skin.
Oh, skin, yeah. The very
Plastic
fine little piece of
skin.
plastic.
They didn't used to do that. They've been doing it more and more often these days.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Let's see if we can get this one going. So. This arm isn't very good at shaking anymore at the moment.
Well, where's
This
your
one's
vortex?
better. Pardon?
Where's your vortex?
It's got some jungle formula in it.
There you go.
Let's see if that's helped any. A little bit. Okay. Let's try this on now. Pull the top off here. It's a pity. Sometimes you get some nice little sort of eyes at the top of here, and sometimes you just get a mush.
A mush. A mush.
A mush. Just a few flaky bits. That's all. That's probably way too much now. But that's just me. Right. Right. We want to let that dry because I've got plans for that afterwards.
Yep,
So we're going to let that dry. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. We're going to let that one dry. We've got others to play
I
with.
knew you had something in mind there, just from the
Yeah,
about that color.
I did. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm going to put this one down, this way down. See if we can't get something off that. A little bit more of this. Yeah, I've got something there as well. So there's not so much of that though, but there's, oh, it's quite interesting. Yeah. So I think I'm going to dry that one because I want to go on with what I want to do. What I want to do.
Let's see. I can give you a time. You've got 20 minutes.
Oh, have I?
Yeah.
Better get on with it then.
Well, we can go over. Not a problem. If you're in the
I don't want you getting tired, you know. If you suddenly feel a bit drained.
I'm not. This is my. I'm
I
not.
know, but you might suddenly feel like you want to go and lie down. You just let me know if you feel like that. And I will immediately call the ambulance.
I don't go. I lied down. I recovered. I'm better. I'm fine. I've got to go finish cleaning.
No. Get Russ to do it.
No.
That one.
That man, when he cleans, I have to go behind him and clean up the mess he made from cleaning. No.
I knew you'd say something like
He's not here, so I can talk about him. I love him. I love him so much, but gotta say, it's not, cleaning the house is not his thing. And he will clean the bathroom even. He's fine with that. He doesn't have any of that attitude. I don't want him to because I don't like the way he cleans. There's a scrubber sponge on the sink, and every morning he has a plate of, every 8 days I make him the frittata, right? The sausage and cheese frittata. And then, so he has it every morning. If I'm not up, he could just heat it up himself. Well, there's a little bit of oil on it, grease or whatever on it. So every morning when he's done eating, he takes that scrubby sponge and he rinses his plate with it and puts the plate in the drainer. And he throws the sponge in the sink. The sponge is now greasy.
Yeah.
And laying there in the sink. And I have to go in there and clean the sponge and clean up the mess he made because now maybe he's put grease all over everything else in the sink. And I can tell him and he'll just forget or not do anything, which is good for me. But yeah, I will say this. He used to make barbecue sauce, and somehow I would find barbecue sauce or tomato on the ceiling and on the yeah, it was like the Swedish chef. You never knew where you were going to find something. And he made some, he knows I tell him this, and he made some about a week or so ago, he made some homemade barbecue sauce, and I went in there, and that man was being so careful about not leaving barbecue sauce on the refrigerator handle. I didn't find any on the. I'm like, what? Who is this guy? Where did my husband go? I did, Lynn. That's the first thing I did was I came upstairs and I told Fran once I realized my blood pressure was dropping, I laid on the floor and propped my legs up on the sofa and above my heart, and I've been watching. But I do that anyway, consistently because I've spent so many years as a transcriptionist, so I know to get up every so often and to move my legs under the table. I don't know what you've got in mind, but I'm loving where you're going with this.
Well, I like those two. And we'll go to this one because I think this is going to be less successful, but it doesn't matter. We're just having a little play. And I'm going to cut some of these out because I prefer these individual.
Miriam says, Yeah, Lynn, she has what's called a vortex. You put the bottle on it and the thing vibrates. Um, Lynn says need pointers to transfers, please. Hmm.
Sorry?
I if you're talking about Miriam, if you're talking about the laser print transfers or anything like that, Fran doesn't have any laser prints. I know that. And
I do actually.
oh, you
I
do.
could do one. I could do one on Friday if I could hoik them out and figure out which are the ones that are good and which are the ones that aren't. Because I got some, didn't I?
Okay, well, I have a package of them for you, but where'd it go? There it is. I just have it. I've got it. Yeah, I've got them. I got it right there. There it is. I just moved it so I could clean. I have a package for you. I have a package for Eddie. I've got some stuff to mail out.
So have I. I haven't finished filling the envelope yet, though.
Yeah, that's how I am. And I've been busy cleaning. Hi, Debbie.
Do Eddie's first because I'll be a while yet.
Okay, well, Miriam, then Fran will do some laser print transfer on Friday.
Will do.
Yeah.
I'll have to try and remember what I did last time. Been a while. It's about time I did a bit more of that, because it was fun.
Well, and it's not difficult if you have a good laser print.
Yes, you do need a good laser print.
Quality image to work with, I think, in my mind. I mean, I had great luck with my laser print.
Well, I had a problem with some of mine because I went back to the guy and I didn't run him through the whole procedure again of exactly what he'd got to do. And he obviously didn't remember from before. And he did it completely differently and it did not work. When I got home, none of those would transfer.
Yeah, well, I have a laser printer, so what I do in Photoshop is I go in or in the print settings, I tell my printer to use only the black ink and full
Yep.
on. Don't use a mix of colors to get
completely black and white. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want the red, purple, blue, and green and all that making black. I want only the black ink because I do have just black ink.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get great prints, great pulls. And it's, yeah. Using the paint, I don't know if there's if that has any effect on it, whether it's heavy body, high flow, fluid. I didn't think about it. I only have.
I would use high flow. I wouldn't use high flow because if you're using a dark color and high flow, it can sell, and you really don't want that when you're doing laser transfers.
Yeah, that's a good.
You want a solid color, so I prefer to use something like a heavy body.
Yes, I used Amsterdam, so I would think that's
yeah, it's heavier. Yes, it's heavier than a high flow.
Heavier than high flow, but it's not. It's still not as heavy as.
I'm not sure if it's like a fluid acrylic, but it's closer to high flow, heavy body. I think.
Yeah.
I think, but I'm not sure because I don't make either of those paints. So unless the companies want to explain.
Well, Miriam says she'll watch Friday to see what she did wrong.
All right. What did you do?
Yeah, I don't know.
What you did?
Did you do it?
Watch it,
Miriam. Did you do it in a stream that we could go back and watch? If you say yes, I'll go find the stream and post it or send it to Fran, and then we'll know. Or did you just do it on your own?
There we go. I got them all done. Right. So I'm going to use, on this one, I'm going to use these. I'm going to put them down on there, and I'm going to put colour on first. So what colour shall we use? Let's use some interesting colours, simply because we can. Not hugely colourful, so because I want some paler colours in there. What else have we got? I don't mind about selling in this, so that's fine. I've got these nice purples, electric plum purple. I haven't tried that one yet. Let's have a go with that, just because I want to.
Evie, did you use Liquitex porcelain to make the image or to pull the image? Liquitex porcelain. Boy, I don't know that color.
Is that a light color? Is that a sort of whitish color?
I put mine down with, I put down black Amsterdam and then put my print down. And then
I would use a black or a dark blue for the first one when you're putting the image down from the laser print. So that might be it, if that's what you did.
Miriam. Okay, tomorrow. We'll watch Miriam's tomorrow.
Okay.
Hi, Kirsten. She's been sorting arty papers all day. Well,
I'm going to put some more of this on here because I've got so much on there, being me.
It's like you're icing a cake or something over there. And you like your icing more than you like your cake.
I used to prefer the marzipan, actually.
You don't have to, when you put your laser print down, you pretty much just put it down, do a rub and pull it up. It's
a sort of balance, isn't it? I mean, you don't put it up instantly, but you don't leave it down for a few minutes. You leave it down for quite a shortish while. So we're here with this. Let's have a go with these. Put these down.
Yeah, it's not a kiss pull. It's not necessarily
no, it's put down properly, but lightly. It's not. I'll have to have another go and show you.
Yeah, you know what? Miriam's gonna do a stream tomorrow and give it a try, and then Friday you'll do it, and then we'll go from there. We'll see.
So I have put this down on here. So I will now get some tissue for these.
Yeah, Mariah and Pete, they've got it down. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they know.
And when I did it, I didn't have any problems. But like I said, when Fran did it, she had the wrong kind of laser printer. She had to take hers out, her images out to a printer and have.
I don't have a laser printer at all.
Right.
So I had to take mine to a company.
Yeah, and you had no control over the.
Well, the first time I told him exactly what I'd been told to tell him, and it worked out okay. And the second time I thought he knew what he was doing, so I let him do it. Yeah. And didn't give him the full instructions that time. And I should have. I absolutely should have. Because he'd forgotten what he did before, and he made a mistake, and it didn't work.
Are you going to do a quick pull on the Nautilus on the shelves there?
Yeah, in a second.
Okay.
Getting another piece of this.
So that is okay. So Nasty took the images, the PM Artist Studio images to the mall to be printed. So therein you may, yeah, that may be the reason. If they don't know to do it, to use only black ink, you can't use a mix of colors to get black. If anyone understands what I'm talking about, you have to use solely the black. That's what I did.
Complete black and white, full black and white, nothing else.
Yeah, and that's what I did, and mine came out
100%. That's the term. 100% black and white.
Yeah, get your fingers down in them grooves there. Little bitty spots there. So it may not be you, Miriam. It may be that whoever did the prints. Oh, you do have some from straight up from PM. Okay. Well,
that would be all right then.
And those I guarantee. If they're from Mariah, I guarantee they're exactly what you want. From the printer, from the mall, I couldn't say. Yeah, you'll see tomorrow. I'll watch. If I'm not falling again.
You'd better not.
Yeah. No, I'm done with that window. he has to move some furniture before I can get to the other end. Magazines are a different thing for pulling an image. There used to be National Geographic, the older National Geographic were the best. And the way I understand it, they used to use a type of ink to make the pages, to make the images. And my mind is gone. I can't remember what it was, but they no longer, most places no longer use that type of ink. There's a change
So
in
it
the
doesn't work.
Yeah. No, it didn't, Teresa. I'm still here at the same place. This is the longest we've lived anywhere, and we've been here 8 years now. But yeah, the old National Geographic would use an old, different type of ink mix, and that's where you got great images. Other magazines like Vogue and Ann Lar. I think Ann Lar did image transfer. Didn't you, Ann? And it wasn't
That's
Vogue.
very pinky. Sorry.
Yes, it is.
Very
On
pinky.
this side.
Not happy. Yeah, not impressed with that. You must never forget that anytime you use red or any red-toned pigment or paint, try not to use light stuff with it because it'll end up pink.
Pink.
Okay, so now that we've got that.
In here. Thank you. Yes, see, I knew it. Ann Lar has done image transfer. I don't remember the magazine she used. I don't think it was Vogue. Maybe it was, and that's why it's in my mind. But I know I've seen Ann do it. See, I watch all you guys. I'm just not always in your chatting. Bethany knows I'm there, though. Okay, Paula. Paula's got to go.
Okay, bye, Paula. You take care of yourself as well. All these people falling down, really.
I know, right? I just
terrible.
Terry, Paula, me. Okay,
there's a falling down disease, an artist falling down disease going around.
Yep.
Careful.
Everything in threes, and that's 3. That's enough. Unless somebody else pops up. That is enough. No more.
That's that one. I think that's doing all right.
Mercury is out of retrograde and blah, 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 and all is well. It was Vogue. Okay, that's probably why it sticks in my mind, Ann. Why it was the first magazine that came to mind. You used Vogue. You get all these subscriptions that you were going to cancel, and you canceled, and then they talked you into keeping them.
That's how it works.
Yep. They're like, oh, but we can make you a better deal. And she's like, oh, and I said, okay. And
they're just hoping you're not going to cancel again at the end of this one, and they can get you back on the high one. Yeah.
I just canceled my Kindle Unlimited.
Oh, yeah.
I did a trial, and it was like, I get so many books from my local library through ebooks through my local library that I really don't need Kindle Unlimited.
I haven't really done much with Kindle. I'm just so happy about the audiobooks. I haven't had the need to use Kindle much.
Yeah.
And anything that's going to run out, I'm not sure about at all. Audiobooks I use all the time. I mean, every single day. I've done it the day when I'm using it.
What was it? You sent me a message the other day. You said, if this guy does the audiobook, do not listen to it. He'll drive you batty.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was. But
I don't remember who it was.
Dan Brony.
Got me.
Dyer Brony. That was his name. He drove me absolutely round the blinking bend.
And gets Audible.
The mispronunciation, the missing out of a word, the using of another word that sounds vaguely familiar but means something completely different, drove me up the wall. I know those books so well, he can't get away with it. Nope.
Well, You must find really good audiobook. I can get audiobooks from the library or audible.com or whatever. I can get audiobooks for any of my books, but too often they're not they're like robotic.
Yes, oh, that's terrible.
And I can't. I
Oh, I
just
haven't touched those. No, I've got one CD of an audiobook. It's a Georgette Hare. It's called Sprig Muslin, and the guy bought it off, swore blind that it was narrated by Sian Phillips. Cross your fingers. I haven't listened to it yet. I've got to transfer it to be able to listen to it.
I'm like Miriam. I'm not yet to where audiobooks I need an audiobook because I'm thinking I'm just gonna fall asleep. It's just gonna lull me to sleep.
I can fall asleep and wake up and there's 2 hours left in the book. When I went to sleep, it was about 8 hours left. Or maybe not quite that much, but a huge gap, you know. You think, what happened? That's not where I was.
There's a I watch Edwin Boyette. He does Middle Earth Storytime, and I listen to him. And he has done Lord of the Rings, and I've listened to all of those. He's now on, I forget, the Fellowship of the Ring episode. Wait, no, that was last year. He's done them over the years. Right now he's reading The Hatchet by Gary Paulson, and he's got a really good voice. He's very good at speaking. Oh, good idea, Ricky. Ricky says if you like a narrator of a book, the next time you go to the library card catalog, put in the narrator's name as author, then you will see all of the books he narrates that the library owns.
You can do that on Audible.
Well, as soon as I find a narrator, take the time to listen to one that isn't robotic. So I don't have a favorite yet because I don't stick with it long enough to get a favorite. But I do like listening to Edwin Boyette, and when he's on YouTube, and when he narrates the story, whatever it is, he has there's another guy with him, so they have a dual camera, and the other guy is usually picking out a scene or a character from whatever book he's reading, and it's really interesting to watch. Very good. And then you can purchase the his sketches and whatnot. That is, and your light overhead is your lamp is hitting it just so it looks like a moon glow.
All right.
On that blue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Anne says she listens while she's crafting. I think Fran listens while she's drinking a cup of tea, looking out the window at the birds on the feeder.
It's usually in the dark, so there aren't very many birds in the dark.
Wow.
So and I'm usually lying in bed trying to get to sleep. Or lying in the recliner trying to listen to the story. One or the other.
George Guidall. George Guidall, did I say that correctly? I'm going to write that in my Fran notes, and then I'll know where it's at. George Guidall. George Guidall.
Who's that?
A good narrator.
Is he?
Ricky was a librarian, so she says he's a good audio for audio. What's today? May 17th.
I'm going to cut this one in half already because then I'll get a better cut, I think. Oh dear, I'm sorry.
Write that down. George Guidall.
Right, put those there. And we'll have a bit more of the same colour, but we'll go a bit lighter.
Okay, I wrote it down. Thank you, Ricky. Thank you.
Same colour.
Now, if Mariah were here, she'd say, fix your camera because you're wonky like I was earlier.
Oh, sorry.
We can see your entire plate, but it went sideways.
Oh, that's not the right one. That's not the right one. Where's it gone? Where's it gone?
Great, Nikki. I don't do mysteries and thrillers usually. I do a variety. Let's see. I just finished. Oh, which one did I just finish? Oh, the Practical Magic. Is it Alice Hoffman? Did Practical Magic, and there were 4 in the series, 3 or 4 books in the series. So I read all the books. So I just finished that. There again, your lamp is shooting down on it like it's a moon glow on water. Oh, I liked it.
Oh, sorry. I'll bring it back again in a minute.
It looked cool.
Right. I'm trying to get a sort of sea-ish effect. Well, I may get out of that one. I don't know.
That one looks more like an 1800s print dress.
Maybe.
Kind of.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what we get.
Kind of.
The other one is looking a bit better.
Less pink.
That's what I was going for. So that's worked better, and that had less ink on the plate. I took quite a lot off this plate and put it onto that one. So there's that. So these will have to wait now. So that's going to be a bit frou-frou.
Yeah, I would have went with that blue that you put down that you really liked, which I really liked. I would have put a aquamarine or a teal in there instead of.
I might have had too many layers to begin with. I think that might have not helped because I can't see any of the. I can't see any creatures on there at all. Did I put creatures on there? Can anybody remember?
No,
maybe I did.
That's straight up cosmic.
So I'll put the creatures on there after I pulled it, and we've got something to put it on. That was the other thing I was going to do, but that requires waiting for this to dry, peel off, and then you've got some. So then I could put. I put these down, but I think they got covered up.
Oh, that's.
The other one had these on, and they're on.
Yeah, the other ones I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lost the turtles.
Yeah, the turtles disappeared. Well, never mind. Could always put them back on. That's the other thing I was going to do. I can't see a single turtle there.
Are you sure? I'd have to back up and look.
Well, I must have done. Otherwise, how could I have gotten that print? I had one of them I pulled off with that one, and the other plate I pulled off with that one.
I'm looking back, and I'm not seeing it. Nope, you didn't put the turtles down.
Well, where'd they come from then?
Where'd they go? I don't know.
Yeah, because I pulled the turtles before I pulled the stencil off. I didn't leave the stencil's on the floor.
Oh, you did. You put the turtles.
Yes.
Okay, you'd have to go back and look. You put the stencil down, the turtle stencil down on the plate, and where you had the tissue paper, you put that over it and pulled it up.
Correct.
So you did put the turtles down, but they're lost.
Then I pulled that up, pulled the turtles off, put
They
the blue.
went on vacation.
I put too much of the blue and the Titan green pale on.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Okay. That's enough.
At least I know what I did wrong.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, I think I'm going to have to stop because I'm.
Yep. That's
I've already
enough.
got a bit
I can
funny.
hear it. That's enough.
So there we are. We'll get onto some inks next time.
Yep. And Friday we will do laser print pull. So we're going to sign off. I'm going to come back.
Just a second. Just a second.
Okay.
Before we sign off.
No problem. Do a little bit. Did you shake it or stir it or anything? Is this the blackberry?
That's blackberry, yeah.
Very cool.
I think it needs to be boiled down a bit more so that there's less water in there.
A little more concentrated, huh?
Yep, yep, I do indeed. So that's that. Let's try the turmeric. After all, we've got these three here. We may as well have a try.
Yep. Can everybody see that? I'm about sticking my face to the screen because I want to see it. See, the light won't let us see that one well, the way the light's here. Now we could see it. Now we could see the ones down below. And now you went with a, there's your blue tinge.
Yep, turning blue, yeah.
Yep, your whole
So
screen.
I might try something else on there. Okay, so that's turmeric. Okay. You've also got to let them dry to see what color they become. So these are obviously going to turn blue because they're starting already.
No, I meant you got a blue tinge on the screen.
Yeah, that too. But it is turning blue.
Looks purple.
Yeah, purpley blue.
Purpley blue.
Paprika.
Ooh.
Sort of a brown. But I think these need longer. I mean, they did say to let it sit overnight and to 24 hours, they said, and to keep shaking it to mix it up.
Yeah.
I'll also try another one with some more of the turmeric, but this time with alcohol. There we go. And we'll have just to see, because we don't know. I haven't boiled this. I've put boiling on it, but I haven't done anything else. I haven't crushed them up or anything. So we'll see.
Right. The apricot was the last one you used. It has a quin gold look.
It does a bit, doesn't it? Sort of orangey, quinacridone goldy.
I like that.
I wonder would they like some of my paprika to make some more quinacridone gold with. Look at that. There's one of them.
That didn't. It needs to dissolve.
It won't dissolve. It's pink peppercorns.
Oh, that's okay.
That's pink peppercorns. You see.
Yep.
It won't dissolve, but I could crush them up a bit more, and I've just letting them soak for a bit. But that's very pale brown, a sort of fawny colour. That one. Yeah, interesting. Interesting.
What's that flower that cups that looks like a cup, and then the top of it folds down. It's white, and then inside are the little pink or red.
Bee's footsteps.
No, we just had a picture of it, and we were trying to figure out what it was called. What is that flower? I used to find them all over in Illinois where I was. It's white flower, and the
You'll have to show me. I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway, it has these little red like berries at the end of a stamen or something.
Oh, right. Interesting.
That's what your pink peppercorns make me think of.
We'll have to try some of those and see if they'll work.
Hi, Maxie. Maxie is here. He is Miriam's son, and he subscribed
Hi,
to
Maxie.
you. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank you.
I just finished testing some inks that I made earlier today.
Homemade inks out of
blackberry, which are these ones that are turning blue, blackberry ink.
Like that one.
Nothing else in them to change the thing. I've suddenly realized that the salt and vinegar is in the container in the fridge, not in this one. So I need to change that label. It's only got gum arabic in it, that's all. And that's the paprika, which is this one, the brownie one.
Mm-hmm.
And the turmeric is this one, the yellowy one.
It's off screen.
And this, oh, sorry.
Yeah, push it up a little. There you go.
Here is the turmeric. And this one here is from pink peppercorns, and I haven't crushed them or anything. All I did was poured boiling water on them, and I got this pale fawn colour. So we'll see what else we can get with them. And if I take some more peppercorns and put them with alcohol, that might make a difference. If I add some vinegar, that might make a difference. Some soda, you know, all these things we can try to see what happens. Okay. Well, there we are. That's us for today. We'll be pulling that next time. And that one. Those are the two we did today. And previously, we got some rather nice results in that one. And that one, which is rather splendid, I think.
I like that one. I do like that one. It'll make a good book cover. And the other one.
The silvery one, the one I was going with the silver.
Yeah, that one I really like.
Red. I think that's a pretty good effort with those.
Wow.
Yeah. And we've got one that was
Mary, I'm asking the questions.
Sorry. We have one we put back on the plate to pull next time.
We're glad you're here too, Kirsten. All of you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the thumbs up.
Thank you, everybody.
Yep. We're going to head out now.
Say bye-bye. You're coming back.
I've got to come back. Hold on. Hold the phone. There we are. We've got to figure out how to do this backwards. Backwards. There we go. Thank you, everyone. Oh, I'm in charge. I get to end it.
Yeah, you've got to press the buttons this time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Both buttons twice.